Free yourself. Free your mind. Free your heart. Let it go free. I said free. Free yourself. Free your mind. Free your heart. Let it go free. Free yourself.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Troy Weeks Music, and I'm back for yourself. I know it's Sunday, but for yourself Saturday. Thank you guys so much for being patient and working with me. Last week and this week, I had a show on Saturday night at Harlem Nights. So those of you who do tune in and listen, um, I have been performing at Harlem Nights with my band for a couple months now. But before I get into that, I like to do the same thing each and every time I do an episode of yourself. I like to start off by, giving you the rundown of what Free Yourself is all about. Free Yourself is the final step of the process. It's the release, the woo-saw, the moment where you cross over and transition from being the victim to the victor. All these steps you needed to get here should have been covered by this point. You should now be ready for the birth of your new beginning. And this is you're thinking and you're not quite ready to free yourself, that's fine. The moment when you are ready will be right here, and that moment won't be taken lightly because the awakening depends on you. This segment, we let people call in so they can publicly free themselves, what's been holding them back, or back from being themselves or being great and moving forward in their lives. Freeing yourself is a symbolizing order of letting go of that stronghold and having the power over it now. And doing it publicly allows you to tell that thing, that situation, that through the power of spoken word, you now have control over it and it doesn't have control over you. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what Free Yourself is all about. That was the basis of why I was created. God gave me that vision for that, and Courtney gave me the platform to do it with Television Radio here on Saturday nights. So that's what we do, guys. And we took it a little step further because we want people to be as open as they want to and free yourself. You can do it anonymously, people. You don't have to say your name, who you are, where you're from. You can say you Bob from, the middle of nowhere. It doesn't matter. It's more so the situation that you got going on at hand, you freeing yourself is what's more important. If you have a dirty little secret and you want to air it out on air anonymously, this is for you. You want to reveal your sexuality to your loved ones on air, then this is for you. Has someone hurt you and you want your feelings to be heard, then this is for you. Or do you just want to express what makes you free and what makes you you, then this is for you. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is Free Yourself. Again, we are back today. It's Sunday the 20th, even though it's supposed to be Saturday. It's the 20th. Sometimes we make changes based on last minute things we have to do with, scheduling and my shows and all that. So back to that. I've been performing at Harlem Nights with my band since February. Now, this is one of the reasons why I'm talking about the topic today. So today's topic is the power of social media and networking. So I'm going to challenge you guys on this year. First of all, I want to make sure Coco. Hey, Coco, you hear my Miss Lady, my girl, my
Yep.
ride or die,
I'm
favorite
here.
stuff ride or die. Awesome, cool. Thank you so much again for working through it all. We both had crazy weekends this weekend,
Yeah.
and Coco holds it down as always. She's a little under the weather, but she's here
Yeah, I'm
as she
like a
always
good
is. So
75%, but I'm here.
that's 75 is better than none. I'll
Exactly.
take it. So what I want to talk about the power of social media and networking. And before I even get into that, I'm going to talk about my show and what I'll let you. But I want to challenge you guys. I'm going to start with a challenge. And this is the year of saying and doing. And I really mean that. I'm going to tell you why I say that. And what I'm going to challenge you out there, all of you listening now, live or listening after it's live to the recording, I want to challenge you to say and do. In 2018, you want to see change in your life. You want to see things happen in your life. You want to be able to do those things you've always wanted to do. This is the year of saying and doing. So I'm challenging you to do that. And this is why I'm going to say that, because I would never challenge you to do something I would do myself. And so with that is why I said that. In the beginning of this year, I was like, you know what? Harlem Nights is a dope thing. They're like my family. A lot of friends of mine who have hosted there. I should be hosting something there. So not just, saying and doing. I just said, you know what? Let me hit them up, hit up the venue and see what they got going on. Let them know, look, I want to host something. What's going on? And bam, I sent out a message and got a response back. Hey, you know what? You're right. You should be. Why don't you, come on in on such and such a day and we can talk about it and figure something out. Saying and doing. All I did was say that, and guess what? It happened. And that's what started off my year, with that momentum of saying and doing. And because I said and did, it went from being one night on a Wednesday night to a one night on a Sunday night, and to a, you know what, one night on a Friday night, which turned into now months later. So saying and doing and putting the action to follow behind what you're doing, it will make a difference, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just, I don't know how to, I can't stress it enough. I'm like super excited. I'm on cloud nine because I really like, don't, I'm just like, every week that I perform with the band, it's like, it's just so real. I didn't have a band before this year, before Harlem Nights and me saying and doing, I didn't even have a band. It was just Troy Weeks Music, just chilling. So, Coco,
Well,
saying
you
and
know what's
doing.
funny? I'm going through that stage right now because if I sneeze, guys, I'm so sorry. Um, but I'm going through that
Cover your
phase.
mouth, that's all.
Right, exactly. That's all that matters. But me and my husband are planning on getting a house soon. And it's crazy because for some reason in America, when you have your own business, a lot of lenders as well as a lot of other jobs look down on you.
Mm,
It's like you would think that you would be looked highly upon, but like it's very easy to fudge things. So a lot of like business owners are, kind of, you got to prove yourself a lot in order to get approved for things. So
mm,
right now I'm trying to get a part-time job, and I push my resume out there just because I'm just trying to get a part-time job, not because like I'm hurting, but because I need to start getting some income that I could just not have to work so hard to prove.
right, right.
So I've been putting on my resume and stuff like that, and the first thing they see is I'm a business owner. Second thing they see is that I started a podcast. The third thing they see is that I was a manager somewhere, and then the first thing they think is that I'm gonna be hard to work with. So
Mm.
yeah, it's really hard. It's extremely hard for my resume to, I don't even get emails back anymore. And I'm well qualified, overqualified for a lot of things, well qualified for stuff. So I said this year, I'm just gonna walk up to into places and just be like, "Bitch, this is what I can do. This is what I this is what I can bring to the table. I will not disappoint you. Are you hiring? What do you need?" So I feel like that's the way I'm gonna have to be more forward and kind of just take what I want because it's really hard if you sit back and just let the system win. So I said to myself, that's gonna be me. I'm gonna just be in your face, forward, and grab what I want.
Listen, you have to do that. And that's the best way to do it now, especially with with the market being the way it is, and everyone's looking for a job, or because of the minimum wage increase, things have just changed. And
Exactly.
so, being in someone's face, and let's just say you want to work at Starbucks, you go in
Mhm.
Starbucks, you have a coffee one day, and even you're looking for a job, then that's when in the moment, especially going during the time, you're like some people, for instance, will come looking for a job at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Who does y'all gotta do you gotta do better than that. You can't
Mhm.
expect to find a job and go into a place and walk in and walk out with the job if you going in at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon looking for a job. You gotta go early in the morning when the managers are there, and strike out that conversation. Hey, how's it going?
Exactly.
I've been here before. The service was great here, or whatever it may be. Just be honest and genuine and true, or spice it up a little bit. Remember, you're doing a job, and first
You know
impression
what,
is
Troy?
everything.
I
Mm-hmm.
actually, real quick, I want to touch on something because I need to ask
Mm-hmm.
you if this is a good idea, and then if anybody else can
Uh-oh.
comment, let me know.
Got it.
But there is a restaurant down the street, and like you said, I'm looking for a part-time job. So it's not like it would stress me if they said no, but I just feel like I could be of help to them. So there's a restaurant that the building used to be a Checkers, which lasted for like I think 10 or so years, as long as I had been in this town before the other restaurants came, it was there. So it had to be more than 10 years. That did well. Then it moved out, and ever since then, nothing that came in its place has done well. It was one Dragon Bowl place after Checkers was there, and that flopped in like 6 months. It was another
Mm.
place before that, and that flopped in like maybe 2 months. Oh, yeah, it was like a Memphis chicken or something place that failed. And then there's this place there now called Buenos Tacos. And when I tell you Buenos Tacos has the most beautiful customer service in the entire world, I am not over exaggerating. The people deliver from Grubhub, right? And it's their employees that deliver deliver your food from Grubhub. And then when they deliver it, they explain to you how it's cooked and why it took so long because it is actually cooked fresh. As soon as you order it, they put the chicken on the grill and cook it. As soon as you order it, they slice up the avocados and start making your guacamole. As soon as you order it, they literally pull it out. I swear they take it from the fucking farm and skin it and throw it on the grill. It's the freshest
Is that
food.
wow? You sure you
It's
don't
the
work for them already?
huh?
You sure you don't work for them already?
Right, exactly. No, but I'm so passionate only because, it's not my favorite restaurant in the world, but it's my favorite restaurant in terms of customer service because they also make fresh drinks. They also,
Mm.
they do a whole bunch
Alcohol
of
or no
stuff.
alcohol?
Huh?
They make alcohol drink too, or no? It's like a fast food
No,
place.
it's actually, when I say fresh drinks, I mean like juices. They will actually
Oh, okay.
juice it, and you could tell it's so fresh. When it gets to your house, it's still warm. They don't refrigerate, it's not been refrigerated. So, like, they squeeze it from the fruit. So, the reason why I'm saying this is because I don't want them to fail, and I know that they could use social media marketing because I've seen their pages and it's not very active. And I'm like, I really want them to last. So I feel like if I walk up in there and be like, guys, I love your product. I've ordered from you like 7 times. It's becoming one of my favorite places in the world to eat. I would love to like see, I want to see you guys make it in this town. I've seen the other restaurants not do so good. I really want you guys to make it. So I don't know. I feel like I don't know if that's like that would be stepping on their toes or making them feel a certain way, but those people are amazing. The cook is great. He'll apologize if you ask to the status of your order. He'll be like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." What happens is we start the food from scratch. Like, they'll explain the whole story. And I don't know if one, people know that because they haven't ordered from them, or two, people appreciate that because it's incredible. But I don't know. Do you think that's like silly?
No, first of all, do you tip them?
Yes,
No, okay. Well, that's what,
always.
and that's I'm a server. That's my first question.
Yes. Oh
Certainly
my
do.
gosh,
Do
those
you
I
tip
tip
them?
them more than anybody because they're incredible.
Awesome. I believe you. I've seen you do it before. Yeah, I say so. This is what I say do. I say you roll up in there and you have a sit down with the manager. You do your
Mhm.
bubbly old special stuff, and you go and grab a coffee or something. Like
Mhm.
get to eat anything. And then something small. It could be one drink and one taco. Who knows? Doesn't matter. And you sit
Mhm.
down, even just take one bite of the taco. And say, you know what? Is the manager in me? I would love to speak to the manager. Sometimes the issue you run into with managers on duty though is that they don't really they're really nobody. People share the time. So
Mhm.
if there's is it a corporate chain or is
No,
it
it's
one
only
and only?
one. I mean, I've looked for them, and that's the only one that ever pops up.
Got it.
And it's also like, I think they're the juice part and the taco place are two separate businesses that combined, I guess, combined forces to make it like, stronger. Oh, I'm looking it up now. But anyway, I'm listening to you as you're talking now. Let me see.
Yo, okay. The reason why I said that because it's a franchise. You can always go through corporate, and corporate will tell you, hey, we reach out to this person, we join or something like
Exactly.
that. But if it's not a corporate place, then
Nope, it's only
I would say
one.
roll up in there and
Mhm.
go in there. Normal business hours and manager should be there. Because most likely in a small place like that, the manager is probably the owner or the son or the daughter of the owner or something like that.
Mhm.
And have a conversation with them because based on what you told me, you pretty much, uh, you pretty much know the history of the environment there because you
Mhm.
live there and you've seen it. Like, why would I
It's
not listen to you?
tough.
As a business here, that's a new business here. I've seen three businesses fail,
Mhm.
and so based on that, living here, I'm really good at what I do, and I see what you do. You're really good at. I want to make sure you succeed. So I want to know how we could do this together.
I like that. We actually have Daquan in the chat too, who agrees with a lot of the
Oh,
points you
come on,
touched
take
on.
on.
He said restaurants are a tough investment, which I totally agree. I've seen restaurants go, up and down, have big, like great boom, grand openings, and then people go once and they're disinterested. I've seen people completely fail in their first week, so I totally agree. He also said that's a great business move in order to reduce waste. And then also, I think he's talking about the fact that they're fresh and they literally don't have anything saved in their fridge. They start right off, which is amazing. And he also says, tell them to give you a trial run to build their social media presence in a couple of months at no charge, and then build a working relationship with them, showing your worth. That's a beautiful idea. He said,
I love it.
and he said if you can financially afford it, work for free. He said term though, and I was like, that's actually a very good idea.
It's not a deal.
Especially like I said, because it's not like I need the part-time job. I'm just trying to have a running record of me working from somewhere. Because apparently, me building a business from scratch and having it be successful for 3 years means nothing. So, but that
Hello.
is a great idea. So thank you so much, Daquan, for that. We appreciate it. Always love you in the chat. Always keeps the conversation flowing. But I'm glad like it doesn't seem like a complete like nut job because I have the tendency to be very forward. So,
Yeah.
and it sometimes kicks me in the ass.
No, I guess you know what. It only depends on the situation where people feel uncomfortable because all the people who are like for people are people who are unconfident about situations, about
Very
themselves or the
true.
situation they're in. So if you around someone who's confident, you won't have that issue.
Very true.
Um, mhm. And in spirit of talking about social media and networking, the reason why I actually brought up the whole topic was because I ran into some uh, some friends, Instagram friends who became real friends. So this is what happened. I was on a train with my daughter Genesis
Mhm.
a couple months ago, and I recognized some faces, and I realized, oh, we're friends on Instagram. So we just started having a conversation, and it was just awesome. Just like they were pretty cool. Like, oh, well, you know, because it's gonna be weird when you're friends with
Mhm.
someone on social media that you don't know in person, and you see
Yep.
them for the first time. It could be like, oh, should I say something, or you know, most people would just be
Exactly.
weird. So I don't say anything. Like, if you see my face all the time and you know things about me because you follow me on social media, it'd be nice to just say hello. So maybe we could really become friends. So that's exactly what happened. So then time goes by. I saw it was two of them at the time. It was two different gentlemen. I saw them separately, one here, one there. Hey, 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 hey. And so then I go out the other day and I see the both of them at the same time. But now every time I see them, I think about Genesis because that was the first time I met them was together and I had Genesis.
Mhm.
And so every time they see me, they think about Genesis because so we struck up conversation and we and started talking and started we now we're gonna be doing some business stuff together, which is pretty awesome.
I
Actually,
love
I was gonna
it.
have I was gonna have him come on the podcast, and I didn't get his number. I only had a social media still, but we were talking back and forth. But it was too late by the time he found out,
Mhm.
and I got busy today to try to get him on. But I will get him on at some point to talk about it. But yeah, and now we're gonna be doing some business together. So that's the power of social media. Like it is what you make of it. And if you really utilize it for what it was created for, you can
It
really
really
win
is.
out in the streets. And on top of that, some more good news in regards to social media on top of what I just said, I'm now officially a social influencer. So I'm gonna be showing products and getting paid some
Look
little
at you.
check to promote products and get free stuff and
See, this is why I
promoting
wish
it.
I would have gotten my IG up because I am big on Facebook. I could probably start a personal page on Facebook and have it blow up, but I have done nothing with my IG experience. So I could be like selling toothpaste and shit by now, but whatever. You do it. You do it for both of us. I'll live vicariously through you.
Listen, I got you. At the end of the day, like this is only going to help things grow even more because of the podcast and all the amazing things I'm already doing, the band and
Yeah.
YouTube, all these things. It's just all the things I've wanted are coming full circle because I said and I did. So that's why it's
Speaking into
important.
existence too.
You gotta. The Bible says that speak things that are not as though they are, and
Yep.
I strongly live by that. It's important to, that's why I even start my day when I go to work. I say, hey, you know what? It's gonna be a great day today. I'm gonna, make some awesome money. We'll meet some
Mhm.
awesome people. It's gonna be dope. You know what I'm saying? No matter what. You
Daquan
know.
says congrats, Troy, by the way.
Woo-hoo. Thanks, Cuzzo. I appreciate it. It's always good to have you on. You know exactly what to say. I was sitting here thinking about you. As a matter of fact, when she said Daquan's on, I'm like, oh, this is dope. We're gonna get him one day. One day I'm gonna get you on to actually talk and speak. But what made me think about it is I'm trying to get more people on Free Yourself to really free themselves in regards to like their stories and
Yes.
calling anonymously and all that. So what I've come up with is a little plan. I found this app called Anchor, which is a podcast app
Mhm.
via Instagram. I was just scrolling through and it's completely free.
Mhm.
And you just create your own podcast and, teach you how to do intro, put a little intro, all of that stuff, whatever. But,
Mhm.
there's stipulations. If you want to really make the full experience, you got to listen to it there. But they
Of
have a feature where
course.
people can call and leave messages. And you can also use those
Oh.
messages and put those messages into your podcast. So people calling anonymously, I can get them from there to give me those anonymous stories, and then
Yeah.
stuff from there I can bring it here, like the good juicy stuff, and
I like
so
it. So
I'm
you can
trying
kind
to.
of vet them and then also still have like another platform as well. So that's actually
Right.
really cool. I
I
like it.
thought to let you know, yeah, I'm glad you like it. I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna kill me. Like, are you trying to leave me? No,
No.
I ain't trying to go nowhere. I'm
No,
really
I
trying
get
to
it too.
get as much, attention as I can to what we're doing. And I feel like if people can anonymously call somewhere and leave messages, I don't know who they are. It could be anywhere from anywhere, anybody from anywhere.
It's a
And the name
great
of the
way to
show is
start a
actually called.
dialogue without having to
Yeah,
be like uncomfortable about it.
right. And the great thing about it is, I call it "Got That Advice" with Troy Weeks Music. So if you guys are tuning in, go go to your Google Play or App Store and look
Yeah.
for Anchor. It's a podcast app, and just download it. And you could just type in Troy Weeks Music or "Got That Advice," and you'll see. And you can leave messages literally. I can get them at any time. And so I'm going to be utilizing that platform to talk maybe once a week for 20, 30 minutes based on calls I get. So I'm hoping that people will utilize the platform and call in, so we can really, really get another way to get people to free themselves for real. Calling us, we don't have to know your name, we ain't got nothing. Bill, you can be billed from the middle of nowhere. We don't care. But if you have a story or something you need advice on, something you want to get heard, something that you want to free yourself, listen, it's all there. Now there's no excuse. If you don't want to call in to free yourself, you feel like it's too formal and, oh, I don't want to talk right now. I don't want people to listen to me. I don't know what I'm going to say. You can do it anonymously through Got That Advice. So don't worry. We can hit you with all platforms, y'all. We take it over the game. In the podcast world
Love it.
out there, it's, you got to make a name for yourself because there's so many other people doing it. But what's going to make you so different? And we got a lot of things we're doing at Savage Media Radio, man.
Yeah.
Monday.
A lot of
Monday,
good
Monday,
things.
Monday, Monday. If you guys don't know what's going on Monday, you don't listen to Saturday, you need to get your life together. You need to listen on Wednesday, you need to listen on Friday. Now Monday, we're going to have our Worst of the Worst podcast on Monday, which is tomorrow, the
Yes.
21st. Tomorrow night, look at our social media to find out what movie we're watching and all that good stuff. And it's very interactive. We definitely want you guys to, really about you guys. We're gonna watch movies that are no ratings, no stars, bad movies, kung
Mhm.
fu, so love, so all kind of stuff. It's gonna be fun to be able to connect with people from all different levels and all walks of life on one common thing, the worst of the worst. So I'm looking
Love it.
forward
Love it. Love
to
it.
that. They'll
I
carry
have
on is
a
leading that.
I have a little podcast in my back pocket too, but I'm gonna stay hush hush.
Oh,
So we're gonna have a lot
oh,
of
oh.
a plethora of things.
Listen, you guys better watch out. One thing we talk about a lot is we're looking for, um, in this day and age, so many people are good at so many different things, and especially with, I listen to people and talk to people all the time. Like, wow, like, you should be doing a podcast. Like, listen to people's voice, their personality. Like, a lot of people have talent, they don't even know it. If you have talent and you don't know it and you want to consider it, hit us up. We're trying to,
Hey,
expand
Troy.
horizons.
Wait.
Yes, okay.
So Daquan said, I've been thinking about the podcast because two of my friends, a male and a female, have different opinions on how women should carry themselves. And I thought about asking y'all they are, if it would be okay with them calling in and having a debate on For Yourself. I was like, that is awesome.
Oh,
That'd be
that'll be the
great.
start of it. How about that? That'll be the start of whatever they got going on.
Daquan,
'Cause
you
that's
do the
something.
legwork. You let us know like their Skype. You let us know what their time is, and we will get them
Listen,
on.
listen. When the topic will be, what he said, how women
How
should.
women should hold themselves, basically, I guess, in
Oh,
public or behave, or maybe their duties. I'm not too sure, but it could go
this is
different ways when
good.
you get two people hot on the,
And
on the mic.
Coco, you're good at stirring the pot. So I feel like we should
Yes,
get some questions or something in regards to how women should conduct
exactly.
themselves, and then have those things ready to go too. You feel me, Daquan? Thumbs up in the chat room. Let us know if that works. That'll be awesome. Exactly. This is what we're doing. And look at guys, this is so perfect. Yeah, we would love to have you do that because that's just going to open up more doors. But if you guys are, if you really that opinionated the way you say you are, and you bring it, you could be bringing it on a segment of your own. You never know. That's how we do.
Exactly.
Like we don't hold people back. We make it. We move them forward. And that's what free yourself's all about. Helping people free themselves, man. In this day and age, it's so crazy the systematic way where we live and like robots. When people have a job, you go 9 to 5, you go to work, come home, you do the same thing every day. It's like, ugh, I don't
Yep.
understand how life is like this. I can't like systematically live the same thing every day. And so I know people are going through. I know people are, don't express themselves. I know people are, really just need a way to somewhere to talk, somebody to talk, some outlet to talk. And I feel like the more and more people we can get to know about For Yourself, the more and more people we can, we can change one mind at a time, and like spreading
Yes.
those positive vibes. It's
Yeah.
people, just need to know you care, genuinely care. It's crazy how people, you know, you'll tell somebody, I care about you, or I'm here for you. But when the last time you said that and really meant it? We say those things automatically, automatically because of, that's what we do. How
Yeah.
you doing? Good afternoon. Hey, how you doing? You ask someone how you doing, but you don't really know how you don't really care how they doing because by the time they
You just say it
turn
in
around and answer,
passing.
right, they're already done. You're already gone and they have a chance to answer. So,
Yeah.
it's just that systematic way. We got to break that. Life is too short. You got to smell the roses while you're alive. You got to be able to smell them, cut them, you know, put them back in the dirt, let them grow again. You got to be able to enjoy these things while you're alive. You can't take anything with you when you die. Can't take it
Exactly.
with you. Especially money. People think money is everything. You can't take money when you die. All you can do is leave it for people to fight over. So I think they make a difference while you're alive. Make an impact in people's life while you're here. Leave a legacy in some way. Any
Like
one
what
of us could be Obama or Martin Luther King. Go ahead. I'm
Exactly.
listening.
Like what you said about like, people always ask how you're doing, but when you really aren't doing so well, they're nowhere to be found. Like I
Mm,
told you, like the other day, I told you last week, I had a moment. I had a day where I felt like complete
mm.
shit. It was probably my lowest time in a couple months. It it was bad. So
And you didn't
it
call
was
me.
like I was putting
Bow
like,
bow.
huh?
I said, and you didn't call me. Bow bow. You get a bow bow, didn't you?
I know, but like, and I'll tell you why. So it was a day like I was putting out resumes everywhere. It was a mixture of things, but a lot of it was no one was responding to my resume, so I felt like shit and I was doubting myself. I felt fat that day. I don't know where that was coming from. No, I was not PMSing because
Oh.
someone's gonna say that. Nothing was biologically wrong with me except for in my head probably. It was a day, and I just cried for like 3 hours, and I was like,
Mm-mm.
I wanted to reach out to people that like I don't know, like I have a couple friends that are all just like, if you need me, call me, blah blah blah. But I am so hesitant because it's happened to me before. I've had so many down moments, and I've tried to reach out to people, and they're nowhere to be found. So I'm conditioned to not make calls anymore. I'm conditioned to not like message people anymore. I just deal with it. I rock it out and I move on. But it's so helpful to actually have those people around you who is just like, give me a call anytime you need someone to talk to, and you call them and they pick up and you talk and it's over and you rise above it and you can move on with your day, and then you know who to fuck with and who to not. Because if you don't talk to people, you can't make that decision. Like, so,
Right.
and it comes to a time when you really need somebody. Like, say if you lose someone and then they do this to you, then you finally realize, man, I did all this shit for this person and they're just a piece of shit. So I always say, show your true colors in the very beginning. If you're really up to helping someone, don't just say it, prove it. Even if they're having a day where they write on Facebook, hey, I have the terrible allergies, reach out to them and be like, hey, are you okay? Just checking up on you. Like, those little things matter. They mean so much to people, especially the people like me who are not all right in the head. Please check up on.
Listen, that's
It's
my point
helpful.
exactly. Not the right in the head part, but the fact is, you want to see what I'm talking about because you didn't call because you're conditioning yourself not to call and because you're so used to it. And like a lot of
Exactly.
people are like, I'm glad you said it and was honest because a
Mhm.
lot of people are dealing with that, Courtney. And that's the prime example I'm talking about. People like that, like we're naturally used to being nurtured and being, people being there for. That's how we're born into this earth. Our mother caring
Mhm.
for us, our family. So as adults, you can't forget that. You still need that. It could be just a hug. It could be sitting somewhere and someone just sitting and listening. It could be,
Mhm.
a shoulder to cry on. It could be anything. But we're still human and we still have emotions and feelings, and we still need to be able to, act on that and not suppress those things. When people suppress them, they don't express themselves, and they do like you. We're like, oh, you know what? I want to call because and then people say you have to make people accountable for their word. This is what I
Mhm.
teach people around me in my circle. If you don't have money, all you have is your word. You ain't rich, you can't buy your way out of things, all you have is your word. So if someone can't trust your word, then you put nothing. There's no point. There's no business relationship. There's no relationship. If your word cannot be trusted for what it is, that's all you have. Then what? Then there's nothing. So you got
Yeah.
to make
Then
people
what are you
accountable,
worth? Nothing.
right? It's nothing to me if I can't trust your word, because there's nothing we
Mm-hmm.
can do. Business, nothing. Because if I can't trust it, I can put my trust in you to show up and say you're going to be somewhere, you're going to be there, or do what you say you're going to do, then there's no point in wasting my time. Because I'm better off doing it myself than wasting my time worried about whether you're going to do it or not, whether you'll be there, whether you're going to commit, whether. So, yeah, you got to hold people accountable. Like if they say you're your friend, and you say, yo, anything you need, give me a call, and they call you, and they call once, and they say, hey, and you don't get them, and you leave a message. Let me clear my thought on that. It's important, people of America, of the world, to leave a voicemail, guys. Like, what's the point of having a voice and calling someone and you didn't get them and you don't leave them a voicemail? People be on the phone,
Exactly.
or people be all over the place. Sometimes people be standing still and miss the call. But yet you didn't leave a voicemail,
I
because you didn't
love
leave a voicemail, they don't know
voicemails.
you. They didn't know you miscalled them, and now you mad because they didn't call you back.
Yep.
Leave people a voicemail. If somebody calls you in business, guess what? They're going to give a voicemail. So if you call somebody and it's for a reason, leave a voicemail. Hey, you know what, Troy? I need you to talk to you when you get a chance to give me a call. I might not get the voicemail, but I might see that you called and text you and say, hey, I can't talk right now, but as soon as I can, I got you. But if you didn't have a voicemail and I didn't see that you called, then hey, I never even knew you called. So now you're in your feelings about something for no reason, on top of what you
Exactly.
was already feeling. So now
One
you're mad
quick
at the
thing,
world.
Troy. Can
Mm-hmm.
I make a shout out to my friend Annie? He's awesome. I
Shout
actually,
out.
you were talking about the power of social media and everything like that. Since I've been doing these shows, I met so many really great people and really nice friends just from doing, from selling tickets or promoting myself and adding people to my Facebook because I love having a network. It doesn't have to be for business, it's just in general. I love having a network. And I was at my last comic convention and I had not met any before. I knew him through Facebook. And he came to my show and he was like, Court, how are you? And I was like, this felt so good because I never met this person in person, but it felt like we'd known each other forever. And anytime, every couple weeks, I haven't been able to answer lately, and I've told him I'm so sorry because I've been so busy. But every couple of days, he'll give me a call and just say, hey, Court, just wanted to say hi, want to know how you are, and we'll have a conversation about his life and things that are going good. And he's so amazing. So I just wanted to say hi to Annie because I really appreciate his presence
Yeah.
and being awesome, and I love you. So if you're listening, I'll even tell you, hey, I shouted you out because I want you to know that you're appreciated.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that.
We appreciate you. Is that the same guy that I met when we were in the car? Is that, I was someone else?
Yes, you met
Yeah.
Annie.
I
Yes,
remember.
yes.
Yeah, he was awesome. He was an awesome guy, and um, keep living, brother. Keep doing you. I remember your story. I remember you talking about your mom and everything. I remember.
Yes,
Keep your head up, bro. You're definitely an awesome guy, and if you keep being you, your light will shine. And through all the negativity that's out here in this world, just don't let nobody
exactly.
dim your light.
We love
Um,
you.
we love you, bro. Yeah, he's an awesome guy. I would love for us to continue to work with him and do some work with him. His personality is awesome. He'd be a great coordinator or something. Um,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
and he's really into what he loves, and you could tell. And
Very well
yeah,
spoken too. Very well
yeah, very
spoken.
much. You tell his service is on point. He could definitely be a part of the team.
Right, right.
um, there's something that came to me right now as you were talking that I want to bring up, and spirit drops things into my spirit sometimes. When it comes to social media, one thing I want you guys to realize is you need to use your social media for exactly what it is. Use that for your contact and not your personal information.
Yep.
And this is why I say that, because you never know what people out their motives are. And when you give somebody your phone number and it's like texting you and looking, because once your phone number is a lot, it has access to a lot more than you think it does.
Yes.
You
Oh,
can now
absolutely.
you can
That's your
Google people's phone
identity.
numbers. Right. You can Google, yes, hello. You can Google their phone number and find out if they place ads online. You can Google their phone number, find them on Facebook and social media. You can use their
Yeah.
phone number to find all kind of stuff. And I feel like nowadays, and people, it's just weird. So I've learned, what I've done is I don't give people my number. I give them my social media. So if I meet someone in public and they have my
Yes.
show and they're like, hey, you awesome, let's connect. Boom, awesome. You got social media? Boom.
You
Pull
know,
your
I
phone out. Let's
subconsciously
Instagram.
do that too. I didn't even realize I haven't given away my phone number in probably 5 years. To
Yeah,
be
it's the best way.
honest.
I'm telling you. I mean, you're not gonna really be talking to them on the phone. If somebody really wants to contact you, they will. And so for me, that's the initial point of contact. So if you're serious about what you're saying, you're gonna contact me. Excuse me. You're gonna contact me if that's what you. And that's why the reason why I don't put my cell phone number on my card. People say,
Hmm.
"Oh, I don't have your number." Yeah, so you have my email. You got all four of my social medias. There's numerous ways to contact me. If you're really interested in working with me, you will find a way. And that would show you, though, we people out. That'll show you the people that really want to work with you and people who are serious and people who
Yep.
are not. Because if you're serious, you definitely will reach out. Whether you have the phone number or not, you'll send an email. And nowadays with these smartphones, there's no reason why you can't send an email.
That
No
is a
reason why you
great
can't send an email.
That's great advice. It's great advice for safety, for networking, for communication, because they
Hmm.
get to see even the other way around. They get to see who you truly are on your social media. A phone call you could put on a face, put on a nice voice, and then be the weirdest motherfucker ever. But then if you go on
Right.
their Instagram or their Facebook and you know that they like, they fall asleep with goats every night, like then you're like, I don't really want to fuck with this guy.
Yeah. See what happened was one of those kind of things. Yeah. About that. Yeah. No.
Right.
But yeah, I like to. To me, it's like online dating. Like I get to know who my friends are before I really like get to meet them. Because now people are hitting me up. I don't know if it's because I'm starting to get popping. I don't know what's going on. You feel me? But people are hitting me up to like come to events and do stuff like, oh, I see your Instagram. I think you're pretty cool guy. I have this
Hey.
event. You should definitely come check it out. And I'm like, that means a lot to me because I've worked my ass off. But
Yes.
I do this to people all the time. Like I said, saying and doing, I hit up companies on Instagram. I'm like, you know what? Because I like to promote things and I want to be a brand ambassador and get paid to promote a product and those kind of things.
Yep.
And I hit companies up like, oh, this is a dope product. This is what I do. I've been doing such and such for X and Y and Z years, and I think I would be a great asset to what you're doing. Let's talk. If you're interested, let's talk more. Boom. And every time I did that, I would say 8 out of 10 times I got a response back.
Love it. Love it.
So saying and doing, y'all.
Yeah.
Keep your personal information to yourself. Keep business, and saying and do, y'all. I told you, I challenge you guys out there listening to say what you're gonna do and just do it. There's people watching you that's making sure you don't succeed. They want to make sure they stay up you right. So you got to show them that hey, I'm more than what you think I am, and I do have dreams, goals, and ambitions, and I'm gonna achieve them. So if you're not going to help me, stand next to me, hold my back up as I'm doing it, then move on out my way.
I love
That's how
it.
you got to be.
I
That's how you
love
got to
it.
be with people. You gotta really you gotta challenge people, Corey. If they're telling you I'm your friend and you need to call them, you call and you leave a voicemail
Yep.
and they don't get back to you for 4 days, then okay, well, I done
Then you
died on the to
know.
heaven and came back for 4 days. You feel me? Right, but then that their word is what it is. You gotta hold people accountable. Because then if I'm not being accountable for my words, and I realize maybe I'm not, and maybe I need to make some changes so that I am accountable for my words. There's nothing wrong with being checked. Who gonna check me, boo? We ain't gotta get crazy because somebody checked you. Calm down. It's
Yep.
okay to have someone check you and for the
Swallow
right
your
reasons,
pride.
swallow your pride, not be defensive, okay? Because if nobody told you, then you wouldn't know. And some people just think you're an asshole or you're this or that and won't want to work with you, want to deal with you at all.
Exactly.
You don't
Exactly.
want to get that reputation. Because the thing is this, listen clearly, you never know who knows who. And if you rub somebody the wrong way, and you out here trying to get work and out here trying to network and out here trying to be a boss, you might rub across the wrong person that knows somebody else and knows somebody else, uncle, sister, daddy, cousin. It can screw up a business deal, can screw up a job opportunity, can screw up anything for you. That's why it pays to be nice to people and treat people. No,
Exactly.
you never
Wait.
know when you're running into someone.
So Mr. Daquan Carter, he goes, run with us or be prepared to be ran over. And then he goes, hashtag savage life. I was like, coming through with the bomb ass hashtags. Let's get it. I love it. That is
Yeah,
that
we
is
gonna.
awesome. We should put that as a status.
I like that. Hell yeah, hell yeah.
I
And
love
we're
it.
gonna have to go back and get all our great dope hashtags from Savage Media.
Yes.
Well, probably and
Starting
talk
with
about it
the
on a whole episode.
Hungarian death metal, remember?
Hello,
I think that was our first.
is that of course hashtag lit. You know,
Yes.
hashtag by Felicia, all that.
In memorandum, I think that's how you
It's,
call it, in memorum,
right,
whatever,
and I can't
of
say it. I don't know.
John.
Do it to me. Right. Lit. Yeah, we miss John. I don't know if
Oh,
he's
I'm gonna
still listening.
cry. If you're
Lit.
listening,
Everything is
John, we
lit.
love you. We miss you.
Yo, bro, my heart is
Oh,
hurting, John. Like, I really don't
right?
understand how you walk away from your family and not say bye. At least say,
I feel
I need
like
a
I've been
break.
broken up with.
I do too. That's his uncommitted ass. You see how he do us? He did us the same way he did the relationships.
Right? See?
Broken our
Oh,
heart,
snap! You hit
John.
it right on the head, Troy.
He broke our
That
heart.
is
Now
what
we're
it
doing
is.
these interviews. How's your relationship life? You gonna do us like that? No, we miss you, John. You did us like your relationships, though. You definitely did.
We do. We miss
Um,
you.
I really hope he's alive. I really just want to make sure he's alive though. Like he
If
don't have to.
anyone is
He don't have to.
related to John Mercer in Los Angeles, California, somewhere in that
Angelie,
abyss,
like
please let us know. Just let us know if he's okay, if you've heard from
you know
him.
he works in finance, and somebody might try to
Yes,
kidnap him
right?
with some crazy shit. I don't know,
You
Chloe.
don't
We need to
fuck with
really do
people's
some
money.
investigation. No, no. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I'm not saying he did something. I'm just
Yeah,
saying that people do all kind of things to get money. They could have told me here
exactly.
trying to get his money. Who knows? Now I'm not. Well, I guess if he was really missing, it would be a PPP out here, and his picture would be out on Facebook somewhere.
Yeah,
So I guess he
exactly.
was missing.
So I think we're
We just want to make
good,
sure,
but
like,
we miss him.
send us a smoke signal, bro. Send us an anonymous call
Be like,
to have somebody
hey
just say
guys,
John's alive. He's alive.
hi Savage, listen to you all the time. Just letting you know John Mercer's alive and he's well. Bye
Can somebody give it to us? Somebody.
bye.
We can send him a call and say we wish you well, we love you. Um, Yeah, thank you. First of all, shout out to Daquan. You found me on a Sunday. You must have saw the post. Was like, it's going down. Let's go. You
Yeah.
always on it. And I'm so glad that you're always there. Larry's been MIA for a little while, but you, Larry, Noemi, she be there sometimes too. You always
Yeah.
originator. Noemi, can't
And we
forget
have
Noemi.
Crystal now, so I'm gonna get my girl to come back on.
Yes. Oh my God.
Our
Let me tell you
newest
something. Let me
follower.
tell you something funny. Oh my God, you're gonna laugh, right? So Krista's my coworker. And I get a
Really?
random text. Yes, I get a random text from someone saying, "I'm listening to your podcast." I'm like,
Yeah.
strong hand, like, whoop, whoop, whoop. No, I felt bad. Like, well, who is this, right? But then the whole time,
Oh,
like,
you hit her
Krista's
with the new
commenting,
phone.
Krista's
Who this?
commenting. No, I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing, man. And then, because she lost the phone and had one for a while, so it's not my fault, it's hers.
Okay.
But then she said, you kept saying, Crystal, Crystal. Who the hell is Crystal, though? Like, who's Crystal,
Oh
guys? Crystal, you doing
snap!
it, girl? And then I go to work the next day. Chris was like, that was me on your podcast. I was like, OMG.
Ah,
I was like, Crystal, I did not know it was you. Now it
she's
makes sense.
awesome.
Crystal. I
We
was
gotta
like,
get
yeah,
her
you rock.
back.
I've been trying to know. She's one of the people I talk to at work about my podcast all the time. She's one of the women
Awesome.
that I was talking about when I had the podcast about women watching their men's porn through their phone and talking about men
Ah,
watching porn. She was one of the originators of that conversation. So she
gotcha.
stirs up the pot. And
I
so I
like it.
love it. I'm just man. I never knew. I found out so much about women working with my coworkers. Like women watch porn. You know what I'm saying? Like the things they say and do. It's amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And to be honest, like I'm pansexual, so I see some LGBT women, and so the way that they interact with each other, it's like a big family. It's just so dope though. The way like to see the whole swag of how people move in 2018.
Yeah.
People grew up in different backgrounds, come from different places. And so to see how how it all happens and how it makes it work, man. I'm telling you, we need a reality show for servers. You know what I'm saying? Like server, like we always talk about server life. We need not that Vanderbilt shit. I'm sorry. I don't watch that. I don't know what that is.
Right.
That's not the real server's life. I'm not talking about that kind of shit. I'm talking about,
Real
real
life.
like server's life, like what really goes down, like in like Harlem. Like we should
Right.
go behind the scenes. Working in Harlem as a server is crazy, bro. It's real crazy.
The
But
closest
I
I've
don't know.
ever been to like being doing what you guys do is working at Rita's.
Oh no,
Rita's
it's Italian
Ice.
ice cream place. Yeah.
Yes. I worked there for 2 years and that was the only place. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's the second place I got tips. I got tips working at my very first job, which was United Skates.
Hooters? Huh?
Huh?
I'm not saying truth. I said Hooters. I'm being funny.
You're
I'm
so
being
stupid.
silly.
Oh yes, it was. Man, man, I could have played that up. Ah, I
Oh
should have
no,
made it
of
something
course you
sexy.
did.
It's whatever. It
Oh,
was
of course you
United
did. Go.
States Skates inside of a YMCA, and
Skate? Skating ring skates?
it was like a roller rink, and
Oh, okay.
I was a party host, and we would have to serve the
I
pizza
can see
out to
that.
the kids'
Party
birthday
host.
parties.
I
And
can
I
see
remember one time I got a $95 tip. I was like, oh
that.
wait, what am I talking about? I got a lot of tip jobs. My other tip job in my serving job was working at Monster Mini Golf, the best place to work out ever. Unfortunately, the one I worked at closed about 2 years ago, but literally probably the best time of my life. Those 2.5 years I worked there. But it was an indoor glow in the dark mini golf place. And I
Mm.
went from being the first person that the guy hired when he opened up his very first business to
Mm.
being a host of the birthday parties to being the lead host of the birthday parties. So throughout the 2 years, I started training everybody that came in the door. It was a great job. But I remember I
Mama, you
walked
want
out of there with like $150 tip, and I was like, "What is this life?" Yeah, yeah, yeah,
hello.
yeah. Serving life
Every day.
is rough, but it's a great,
Cash money every day. Yeah. You just
yeah.
never know
Like you
what you're
make a
gonna get.
difference,
Right.
right?
Oh yeah, you connect. See, I think what I realize is I treat serving the same thing I do when I host events. Like I'm entertaining, like I'm hosting you. You're in my
Making an
place. So
experience. Exactly.
Courtney, I'm about to slap your face. You don't know why? That word is exactly what I say. Everything is about an experience with me. So that's just what I tell them. Thank you
Exactly.
for stopping by. Thank you for
Reading your
choosing Olive
mind.
Garden. My name is Troy. Right, you read my mind. I'll be overseeing your experience today. Riley, like I'll be overseeing your experience today. Like, that one thing they hit some because they sit and they're like, wait, experience? They didn't expect
Right?
that. So they're like, wait, I'm going to get an experience today. So I'm like, oh, here we go because experience you got to live up to. Whether it's a good or bad experience, it's still an experience. So now
Exactly.
that you already put experience in their mind, that they have some type of expectation. But the good thing is that because they have the expectation, they don't know what to expect either.
Yep.
They're just expecting something. They don't know what it is.
That actually is true. It takes the
It's a
pressure
win-win.
off of you. As long as
It
you leave
does
them
because
with
I can see
something when they
myself.
walk out the door.
Listen, you know what that is? Chocolates. Here you go. Everybody gets them, and they feel
There
like
you
special.
go.
Like I just give you. They feel like I give because people don't give up their chocolates. I give out chocolates, baby. Everybody get chocolates. You don't even get one. You get two
Aww.
of them.
Troy's
Bam.
chocolates. You should open up a
Choice
store.
chocolates. Listen, I got chocolate covered strawberries in the refrigerator I made last night. Stop playing. And
Damn.
they taste so good. I do want to do some desserts for the summertime though. I'm not gonna lie. Some little Oreo cheesecake, strawberry cheesecake, some stuff like that. I've
Yes.
been
I
wanting to
made
do that. I've been
cake
wanting
pops yesterday for the first time ever. Throw that
cake pops.
into your little
Uh-oh.
presentry
The
there.
cocoa cake pops.
Yes,
We got
right?
the cocoa
We
cake
gon' we
pops
gonna
in
run the
there.
world. We're gonna do the damn thing.
Listen, we about to add all of that to these events we get ready to do. We got some big things
Yes.
coming, y'all. Pay attention, stay tuned, because we got some things in store. Troy Weeks and Coco teaming up has been dynamite
Awesome.
out of nowhere, and we really get each other. It's like we've really been best friends for a whole life, and we didn't know that, and we just found each other. Like
Yes.
we really get each other and understand each other. And it's important to have those positive people around you when you're working and doing what you love to do. So I love it's like coming to work every day. I love it's
I
Wednesday, it's Saturday,
know.
it's podcast day. I
I
get
know. I
excited.
get so excited. I'm like, yay.
Yeah, and you realize as time go by, like wow, it's been 3 months, it's been 4 months, it's been like wow, we've
Right?
been doing this thing.
We're almost at 6 months, guys.
Woo-hoo. Hey, we doing it. We ain't babies no more. We walking now. We ain't babies no more.
Yup.
6 months. That's what I'm talking about. Wow, this has been an awesome episode.
Yes,
You
it
know how I do.
has.
And anybody in the chat room before we do closing remarks? Anybody in the chat room
Nope. I think we're
saying no?
all
We're good.
good. If anyone's there,
Awesome.
thank you for listening. We want to
Thank you.
hear from you guys, so don't be shy. Always, don't be a stranger. Always hit up the chat. Just let us know. Say hi. You don't have to say anything profound or anything crazy. You don't have to come out of your shell. We just want to know you're there, and we appreciate you listening. So thank you so much. But no, we're
Yeah.
good. Try the chat is dry now.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, don't forget, Daquan, we're challenging you to make your friends pop in on here, make that happen for us, that connection, so we can bring his and her up on the podcast on For Yourself and get to the bottom line of how women are supposed to conduct themselves. Let's make that happen, right, Coco?
Yep, exactly. So we're
Daquan,
gonna work it out. We're gonna make this
Daquan,
happen.
teamwork, baby. We counting on you to make it happen because it's gonna
He
be
said
epic,
check the
baby.
inbox, so we already got some info,
Oh,
I'm sure. But
yeah.
yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, Miss Coco, give us a little closer on your end before I close out, as we do each and every week.
Um, I'd say don't be like me. Don't be afraid to be forward. Always be respectful, but go and get what you want. Just like Troy said, just go and get it. If you want something, make it happen. Don't wait for somebody else to give you an opportunity. Make the opportunity. So that's what I want to leave people with today.
Mm, 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 mm. That was good. Campbell soup good. Come on.
Right?
Thank you, Coco. Yeah.
Wholesome and
C-
warm.
Wholesome and warm. It feels good going down. I promise you. You couldn't. I couldn't have said it better, Coco. Thank you so much.
Aw.
The power of social media and networking, guys. The power is in your hands. I challenge you again that this is the year of saying and doing. I challenge you to say and do. That's all you got to do. Bible says, say things, speak things that are not as though they are. It also says when you take the first step, God will take the other step for you, right there waiting on you to hold your hand and keep it moving. But you got to have enough faith, trust to just say, hey, I'm going to do it. Take that first step, It's just that easy. Your dreams are just one footstep away. You just got to step on the other side and let go of what's holding you back.
I agree.
For yourself, for Troy Weeks Music and Coco Brew, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been real. I got to get ready to head out and take baby girl back to her mom, and enjoy spending time with her, but I got to take her back because daddy got a show. I have a show tonight at Aloha Lounge in the Queens. Check my Instagram. If you're free, come through. It's an R&B showcase. I'm paying homage to, the Apollo. It's something I, did when I first was on the Apollo years ago. For this R&B showcase. I'm excited. So feel free, come through. Let's get it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And until next week, stay savage as we always do.
Free, free yourself, free your mind, free your heart, let it go free. I say free yourself, free your mind, free your heart, let it go free. Free yourself.